नहमदु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़ाऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम माय नेम इज़ इंजीनियर फरहान Tanveer and today is our second lab for the CCNA 200-301 certification course. Basically today's lab will be about the Cisco router CLI. So without wasting any time I am going to start the lab. So starting our today's lab, and our today's lab is related to the Cisco IOS. iOS is basically the inter-network operating system. It's just like an operating system related to the Cisco devices. If you talk about the Huawei devices, then in Huawei you have the VRP platform, versatile routing platform. So this is basically the operating system of Cisco devices. So you will find the iOS on Cisco routers, as well as you will find the iOS on switches and firewalls. There are different versions of the iOS, and in today's lab basically I will be dealing with these 9 points. And first is the introduction to the Cisco iOS, and then the CLI. Basically, I have told you about the Cisco iOS, that it is the operating system of your Cisco networking device. And what about the CLI? CLI is basically the command line interface. It provides you a method or platform for configuring your Cisco device. So this command line interface consists of different commands. Very variety of commands are there, and you run these commands and perform the desired operation on your networking devices. So the other points that I will be telling you in this lab is basically letting you understand the different modes of your router using the help features, and then we will be performing simple tasks on our routers, like setting up the router's clock, and setting up an Ethernet interface, serial interface, configuring the console line, auxiliary line, and the telnet VTY lines, then setting up the banners, and then the different two different types of the enable mode passwords will be set up in this particular lab. So now I am moving to my Cisco Packet Tracer, and this is our Cisco Packet Tracer GUI, and these are the different types of routers that are available in the Cisco Packet Tracer. This is Cisco Packet Tracer version 7.3, and basically at this end you can see that there are networking devices, here are the end devices, and these are the basically components, these are the cable connections, etc. So I have gone to the networking devices, and in networking devices, in the subdivision, you have the routers, then these are the switches, and these are the then hubs and wireless devices, then the firewalls are there, and then the WAN emulation. So basically I'm uh, taking up a simple router, that is the 2811. 2811 router is an ISR Cisco router, and ISR stands for integrated services router. So basically I will be configuring this router, and after dragging it in the working area of the packet tracer, in order to go to its CLI, basically you have to just double click on this device, and then this parameter window is now open. You can zoom in to have a better look of your router, and basically this is the start stop button. You can simply click it to stop your device, and click it on to start your device again. These are basically the dummy representations of the fast Ethernet interfaces. Basically at the 2811 you have two fast Ethernet interfaces. This is your console port, and this is your auxiliary port. This is your compact flash. Basically in real routers you just push this push button, and then the flash card comes out from this slot. So I will be making a lab on the real router also, but at present I am basically performing this lab on the Cisco Packet Tracer. Here you can see that we have the physical tab. In physical tab you have different types of modules available to you. Out of these modules, you have the wick cover. If you don't have to place some add on your router, then you can simply place a wick cover over here. And basically in this lab I will be taking up the WIC2T. WIC2T is WAN interface card, two terminals or two ports. Basically WIC 2T module provides you with two serial interfaces. So if you want a serial connection on your router, then you have to connect a WIC interface on your router. But when the router is powered on, then you cannot drag and drop any interface on it. I am basically demonstrating you how this will not work when the power is turned on. Simply I placed it over there, and it gives us a message that we cannot add a module when the power is on. So what you have to do is to just turn off your router and then add this module at its proper place. Before adding this module, I also want to show you something else. In the configuration tab, you can see that you have only in interface column, you have only fast ethernet 0/0 and 0/1 interface available to you, because at present I haven't attached the WIC2T or some other module at your router. So now I am going again to the physical tab, and here now the router is turned off, and I am placing this WIC2T, which will give me two serial interfaces over here. And now when I go again to the config tab, and then I can see that we have the serial 000 and serial 001. Similarly, if you place WIC2T module over here, then it will be serial 010 and 011. This position is called 020 and 021. And if I place a serial interface over here, then it will be 030 and 031. So I can demonstrate it to you. I am connecting another serial interface over here, and then again going back to the config terminal, you can see that there is an additional two serial ports available to you now, that is the serial 030 and 031. So now my router can have four different serial connections, or it can connect four different routers via serial connection. Now this is the CLI portion, and the CLI portion, obviously it is telling us that the device must be powered on if you want to configure your router. So I'm going to turn on my router, and then I am moving into the CLI tab. This is the basically the decompressing of the iOS image that is being done right now. After the decompressing of iOS image, then it is giving now us a message that would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog. If you want to uh, perform very basic configuration, if you don't know the commands, then you will type a yes over here. But we want to configure our router in a expert manner, so therefore I am writing an N or no, and then I am pressing an enter, and therefore I am now in the router's user mode. You can see over here that we have the router, and after router you have a greater than sign. This greater than sign basically is the user mode of the router, which is our second objective of today's lab. We have to learn about the different modes of the router. So this was our first mode of the router, that is the user mode. With a greater than sign, it is the user mode. If you want to move to the other mode, that is the enable or privilege mode, then you have to simply write the command enable. Write and enable, and you will see that your prompt has now changed, and instead of the greater than sign, you have a hash sign. So this is the enable or the privilege mode of your router. So if you want to come back again, then you can simply type disable, and disable and pressing the enter, then you are again back into your user or user mode. So basically the user mode is just for monitoring purpose. It is not a powerful mode, and it cannot help you in configuring the router in a master level manner. So basically it is just used for checking up the basic components of the router. um, Now again I am typing a short form of enable. En is the short form of enable, and now again I am in the enable or the privilege mode. Now I am moving to the most powerful mode of the router, and the most powerful mode of the router is the global configuration mode. With this command configure terminal, I can move to the global configuration mode, and now you can see that with the router there is a config inside the bracket. This is the most powerful mode of your router. Whatever you do in this mode, it will be applicable to the router as a whole. So you should be very careful while working in the global configuration mode of your router. And after coming into this global configuration mode, if you want to go back, then you have to simply type an exit, and exit will move you back to the enable mode again. So there is a short form of configure terminal, that is the conft. Conft will also take you into the global configuration mode. So beside these three modes, there are sub modes also available to you, or you can say that these are basically the specific configuration modes. For example, I have told you that if you perform any task in this mode, then that task will be applicable to the whole of the router. But let's say I want to just configure my serial 000 interface only. So I will have to move into my serial 000 interface sub configuration mode. So basically the sub configuration mode, I am writing a command over here, interface serial 0 oblique 0 oblique, sorry, basically interface serial 0 oblique 0 oblique 0 and 0. So this is now config dash if. So basically this is now your sub interface mode, or it is basically a specific configuration mode. Whatever you do in this mode will be applicable to only the interface serial 0 oblique 0 oblique 0. So you can give IP address to this interface. We will be dealing with this thing, but at present I am just showing you the different modes of router available to you. So there are other modes also, router rip, and you can see that the prompt has now changed to config dash router. This is also a sub interface mode. Whatever you do over here will be applicable to our routing protocol, that is RIP, routing information protocol. In our later coming labs, we will be dealing with these routing protocols also. But at present, I have just demonstrating you the different modes of router that are available to you. One more thing I want to clarify over here is that there is another very powerful mode that is known as the ROM monitor mode, and we will be dealing with the ROM monitor mode when I will be recovering password of my router if I forgot my password, or if I want to recover my iOS. Then ROM monitor mode is the most powerful mode, or you can say that it is a very useful mode that is also present in our router. But in this lab number 1, we will be not dealing with the ROM monitor mode. So basically these are the different modes of router that are available to you. If someone asks you the basic modes, then with the greater than sign, it is the user mode. With hash sign, it is the privilege mode. And with the config hash sign, it is basically the global configuration mode. And with config dash something, that will be the specific configuration mode for your router. So I hope that this point is also clear to you, that how are the different modes of router present in the iOS. Now I am showing you a very important thing, and that thing is the help feature of your router. Basically, whenever you are new to your router and you don't know the different commands that are available on your router, so what you do is to just simply type a question mark. When you type a question mark, then this question mark will give you the help or feature of your router. And you can see over here that these are the different commands available at the user mode of your router, and connect, and after the connect, the description of that command is also given to you. If you work on the real router, which we will be doing in our upcoming labs, then you will see that this list is very large as compared to this simulation based router. So we will be dealing with that thing in the later on lab. So basically, not only these commands, but there are a large set of commands available on the real routers. But basically the thing to obtain the help feature is the same, that is just press the question mark. So now I am moving to the enable or the privilege mode, and here also I am using the help feature by simply shift question mark. And here you can see that there are large number of commands, and a more is over there. So if you press your space bar, then another page will be visible to you. So, and if you don't press the space bar and you just press enter, then one command at a time will be shown to you other than the first page. And if you press enter, if you press question mark and then press any other button, then it will quit you from the help feature. So basically help feature gives you the list of commands and the relevant actions that those commands perform. Now moving to the global configuration mode, and here in the global configuration mode, you can see that there is the first page of the commands along with the description, then the second page by pressing the spacebar button, and then another page. So basically these are the commands. Why in the simulation software, these are less number of commands, because these commands are basically enough for your CCNA perspective. So there isn't any need to have all the commands incorporated in your packet tracer for CCNA purpose. But in case of real router, there will be very large list of commands in all the modes, that is the user mode, the privilege mode, and the global configuration mode. Even if you go to your basically the specific configuration mode, then also there you will see that there is the help command working for you. This is my serial 000 is specific configuration mode, and here you can see that there is also help feature working on it. So I hope that this help feature, these different modes of router are now clear to you. Now moving to our next objective for today's lab. What is the next objective? Basically the next objective is to set up the router clock. So why setting up the router clock is necessary? Because router performs different types of functions on your network, and having a proper clock assigned to your router will be very beneficial for different types of logs recording, as well as different types of access control features, time based access control lists. So basically router should have a proper clock. So first of all, we want to check that whether our router clock is properly working or not. We have a very powerful command working at this enable or privilege mode, and that command is known as the show command. So I have typed over here a show. If you want to check this show command, then simply press the help feature, and here you can see that we have this show command, show running configuration. Whatever the configuration is present in your router, that can be seen from here. So basically I have written a show, and after show there is also a help feature related to show command, and you can see that is a very large list for the show command only. And in this list you can see over here that we have a clock. This is your clock. So show, and after show we will be typing a clock word. This is our clock word, and then I am pressing my enter button, and here it is saying that your time is totally wrong, because it is the year 1993, not possible, and our time is basically 12:15 a.m. So now, and the date is 31st May 2020. So I want to have my clock properly assigned. So what should I do is to basically set my clock. So if you want to set your clock, then check at this enable mode whether there is a command available for this particular purpose. I have typed the help feature, and basically there you have a clock command, manage the system clock. So I am simply typing clock, and now after clock, if you don't know the keyword or don't know the complete command, then again the help feature will help you. And basically after clock you should have a set word, and this set word would set the time and date. So basically I have written set. Now again asking or using the help feature, then it is telling us that you have to put your time in the 24 hours format. So basically it is 12:16 a.m. So I will be writing 00, then a colon, sorry. We have a 00, and then I will be using the problem with the keyboard. So this is basically the column 00, now 17, and then again I'm using 00 seconds, and now asking more help from me. So now it is telling us you have to enter the day of the month from 1 till 31st. This is basically 31st. And after 31st, what we have now is the month, and the month is May. And after month, year from 1993 till 2035. This is basically 2020. And after this, again asking it health feature. Now this command is now completed because we are getting a CR over here. This basically CR means the carriage return, and carriage return means you have to just press the enter. So I have now pressed the enter and my clock should now be set. Now again checking my clock using the command show clock, and you can see over here that our clock is properly setup. One thing more I want to clarify here is that whenever you perform some task on your router, then kindly save your tasks just like you save your work in case of Office by simply pressing Control S. So here Control S doesn't work. You have to basically just write your configurations. So now your configuration will be saved if the power gets turned off in case of real routers, or if you press this power on off button, then your configuration will still be there. Otherwise the configurations will be deleted if the power is turned off and on again. So my configurations are basically now saved. Now I will be moving to some other features. One more feature that I want to add in my today's lab is basically I want to set up the host name of my router. Setting up host name. So what does this mean? This means that at present you can see over here that at the prompt you are getting a router. So I want to set up it with my name Farhan. So basically the host name can be set up by the global configuration mode. In the global configuration mode, you just type your help and then you can see that there is a host name command, host name, and after it is written that set systems network name. So I want to set up the host name. So if you type your command and don't want to type your command completely, then make your command unique and then press tab. So you saw over here that after writing host, I just pressed the tab button and the command is automatically completed. So you have to just make your command unique, and then after that you have to just press the tab button to complete your command. So I am typing over here Farhan underscore RTR means router, and there you go. Your host name is now changed and your host name is now Farhan RTR. Again, saving your work is very important. So writing again the configuration using the WR, and after WR I again press the tab. Now moving back to the global configuration mode, some more work has to be done. Our next objective is to set up the Ethernet interface. Basically, when you talk about an Ethernet interface in your particular router, there isn't any Ethernet interface. It is basically the fast Ethernet interface. What is the difference between an Ethernet and a fast Ethernet interface? Is basically the difference between the speed of the two interfaces. Basically, Ethernet interface provides us with a 10 Mbps speed, and if you talk about the fast Ethernet interface, then it provides us a speed of 100 Mbps. So I have my fast Ethernet interface over here. So I will be configuring the fast Ethernet interface in case of my 2811 router. So this also needs to be altered a bit. Basically, I will be writing over here a fast Ethernet interface. Now moving to my work again. This is my router, this is my CLI, and I have to go to my Ethernet interface. If you want to check what are the different types of interfaces installed at your router, then you have to just simply show IP interface brief command. You can write it in the short form as show IP int brief. Basically this is show IP interface brief command. You don't have to write the complete show also. You can simply write it as sh, show IP int BRI. So this command will give you all the interfaces that are present on your router. So you can see over here there are a total of 6 interfaces because I added 2 different serial VIC2T cards, each having 2 ports, and the fast Ethernet 0/0 and 0/1 were already present in my router. So you can see that the fast Ethernet 0/0 is unassigned IP address and it is administratively down as well as protocol wise down. Why administratively and protocol wise down? Basically, this router is at present totally alone. There isn't any other router attached to it. So if I attach any other router and perform the configurations related to that interface, then that interface will turn up. I am attaching another router. It is the 2811 router, And at this 2811 router, one more thing should be done, that is the attachment of the serial interface, because by default 2811 routers don't have any serial interface installed on it. So this is the our favorite VIC2T card. This VIC2T card is dragged and dropped in its particular place, and then it is turned on. So my router 1 will also be now able to make serial as well as Ethernet connection. Second thing is that I can attach a host PC also. So in order to have a host PC, then you can simply place a laptop or PC over here. This is our PC number 0 and this is our PC number 1. You can change the name of your router also, because I made this router Farhan underscore RTR, and let's say this router is Abdullah underscore RTR, Abdullah underscore RTR. And let's say this PC is Ibrahim PC, and this PC is basically, let's say its name is also altered and its name is Faria PC, let's say. So these different names are given, but by providing names over here doesn't mean that inside the router the name also gets changed. You can see still in the Abdullah RTR you have first the no command, because I told you that whenever you get this message of enter the initial configuration arrow, then press a no over here, and there you have the router name is still written over here. So in case of my Farhan underscore RTR, I did my configuration, therefore it is written Farhan underscore RTR. So I am performing now the configuration of my particular interface, fast Ethernet 0/0. Basically, fast Ethernet 0/0 interface or the fast Ethernet interface will be used by me to have a LAN connection, and in case of serial interface, that will be used between the two routers for making a serial or a WAN connection. So moving to my global configuration mode, and after the global configuration mode, I am moving into my particular interface fast Ethernet 0/0. And after entering into this, what you have to do is to assign an IP address, and after the assignment of IP address, by default all the ports of the router are down, so you have to turn on those interfaces also. So IP address, let's say we are given 10.1.1.1 and 255.255.255.0. This is the class A IP address with a changed subnet mask oblique 24 CIDR value. And now I am using the no shutdown command. Before turning on this interface, I also want you to have an idea related to the cable connection that will be used between these routers. So this is the cable connections point, and here this is our crossover cable. This is the copper crossover that is used between the router and the PC. So fast Ethernet 0/0 will now be connected to my fast Ethernet 0. This is interface is at present down because this interface is not turned on still. Now between these two router and PC is fast Ethernet 0/0 connected to its fast Ethernet 0, and among these two routers, what you have to clearly understand is that whenever you are setting up an interface, then there are two type of interfaces related to the serial connection. One is your DCE and the other one is your DTE. That you have to bear in your mind. DCE is basically data communication equipment and DTE is basically data terminal equipment. Basically, DCE is provided clock, while DTE gets synchronized itself using the clock provided on the DCE terminal. So one interface is to be made DCE and the other interface is to be made DTE, or you can say that DCE is basically the male connector and DTE is basically the female connector. So between these two interfaces, you can see over here that we have a serial cable having a clock and a serial cable without a clock. So if I click over here, then you can see that it is showing me the message of serial DCE, and this is showing me the message of serial DTE. The messages are written over here, this point. So you can see that this is serial DTE, and if I go over there, this is serial DCE. So if I take up this serial DCE and first I click on this router, then it will become the male connector serial DCE and it will become the female. Similarly, if I take up this cable and I click on this router and then click on that router, then since this is the female cable, the router which is clicked first by you will become the female DTE, while the other one will automatically become the male DCE. So I'm taking up the serial DCE cable and attaching the serial DCE cable at serial 000 and here also serial 000. So you can see now that by placing this mouse over here, you have the serial 000 at the left hand side with the clock and serial 000 at the right hand side without the clock. So basically this has become now male connector and this has become now female connector. You can see the clock over here and there isn't any clock. So you have to provide the clock rate on the Farhan RTR routers serial interface 000, but there isn't any need to provide clock over here. So now this is all about the cable connection at present. Now again I am moving into my Farhan router CLI, and this is my Farhan router CLI, and I was basically working on my fast Ethernet interface 0/0 connected to the Ibrahim PC. So now I am turning on this interfaces by simply writing the command no shutdown. Basically in Cisco you have the no command for all the negation purpose, and in case of Huawei you have the undo shutdown command. So basically if you learn about the Cisco routers and switches, then you can very easily work on the Huawei routers and switches basically. Now so I am turning on this interface and this protocol is now changed to up. This interface particular that was connected to the Ibrahim PC is now basically up. So all the configurations have been done, and if you place your router if you place your cursor over this router, then you can see in the first line the fast Ethernet interface 0/0 is now up with the IP address as well as the CIDR value /24, and you can see this also in by using the command that I told to you, and that command was show IP interface brief. If you press the up arrow, then the previous commands will be history will be repeated. So I'm just pressing the up arrow and the down arrow to get my previous command. This was my previous command, show IP interface brief, and pressing the enter, and you can see now in the first line the fast Ethernet 0/0 with the IP address, yes, status is up and the protocol is up. It is good to go. And now if I want to have some ping working on, then the Ibrahim PC will also be provided with an IP address, because the interface fast Ethernet 0/0 is up, but the IP address is not present, so it will not be working. And at this fast Ethernet interface, you have placed or configured it with the IP address 10.1.1.1. So at Ibrahim PC, the same subnet IP should be provided. Let's say 10.1.1.2 will be given to it. So this is the desktop, and at the desktop, this is the IP configuration. Static configuration means I will be simply adding the IP address myself 10.1.1.2, and the subnet mask is 255.255. Invalid subnet mask should be corrected. Oh, sorry, basically this is 10.1.1.2 and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. There isn't any need at present for the default gateway. If you want to place the default gateway, then make it your router 10.1.1.1, and no need for the DNS server. This will work. Um, so these configurations are given at the fast Ethernet interface, and now my PC will be with the IP address, and I am just placing the cursor over here, and you can see that the IP address is there. If you want to check the connectivity between this router and the PC, whether they are working properly or not, then you can make a ping PDU, and you can send it from PC to the router and from router to the PC. And the same can be done by simply opening the PC and then going into the command prompt of your PC. And from here, you can write your ping and the IP address of your particular router. So you can see that the TTL is getting received. Our 4 packets were sent and the 4 were echoed back to us, and there isn't any loss. It means that the network is properly working between the router and the switch. The same can be done by from this router also. I can check the connection by pinging my PC. Sorry, 10.1.1.2 was the IP address of my PC, and here you can also see that 5 packets were sent and 5 sign of exclamations mean that all the packets were properly echoed back to you. So the connection between the router and the PC is properly working, as I have properly configured my fast Ethernet interface. Now moving to the serial interface connection. As you can know that you should know that the Farhan router serial 000 was connected to the Abdullah router serial 000, and Farhan router serial 000 was a DCE interface. So interface Z serial 0/0/0, and now this is the sub interface mode. IP address is given to you. Let's say we are taking the IP address 11.1.1.1, and this is 255.255.255.0, and then using the command no shutdown. And then one thing more, still the interface is down because the neighboring router, that is the Abdullah router, isn't configured. So now providing the clock rate, because I said to you that you have to provide the clock rate on the DCE serial interfaces. This is a difference between the configuration of fast Ethernet interfaces and the serial interfaces. So you have different after writing the clock rate, I have just press the help button, and you can see over here that we have different clock rates available to us. So I am simply using the 125,000 clock rate, and this is good to go now. One more thing that you can add is the description. Description is basically the remarks. You can write whatever you want to make you understand the connection link types, what type of connection it is. Basically, so we can write over here that this is a connection to Abdullah router. So this is basically a remark sort of thing. So this is a basically description. So our interface is good to go now, and we have configured it properly. Now I will be moving to the other router to configure the other end of the serial connection, but that I will be doing after informing you about how the console line and auxiliary line and the VTY lines work. What are the console line and the auxiliary line and VTY line? Basically, there are two methods to enter into your router physically, and one method to enter into your router logically. If you enter into your router through this port that I showed to you, again I am showing it. Basically, moving to the physical part of your router, zoomed in is already done. This is your console port. All the CLI connections, all the CLI configurations are done by the help of this console connection. I will be dealing with these connections in our real router lab. When I will be performing this practical on real router, then I will show you how to make connection over here. So basically this CLI, all these configurations that I have done on this router is through the help of this console connection, console cable connection. This is auxiliary port, and these two ports can be used to configure your router. Basically, this port is used, console port is most commonly used, and modem commands are basically done through the help of this auxiliary port. And what about the third type? And the Now, the third connection is basically the tele-networking connection or the VTY connection. Consider that you are in Islamabad city and you want to configure your router present in the Karachi city. Then in that case, the telnet or the virtual terminal lines or the virtual terminal connections will be used by you to configure your to configure your router or the remote router or the remote networking device. So these are basically the three different ways to login into your router. So one by one, I will be configuring the line console and the auxiliary line and the telnet connection. So moving to my Farhan underscore RTR router, and we are now going into its CLI. Now, uh, this is the user mode, enable mode, and the global configuration mode. And after entering into the global configuration mode, the line console 0. This is your command for entering into the console terminal. So line console 0, this is config dash line. And now at in this particular sub interface mode, I will be giving it a password, and this is the help feature, and you can see over here that there is a password present in it. So that set a password. So I am setting a password. The password, let's say password is FARHAN1, Farhan1. And after entering the password, one more thing you have to do is to apply the login feature also, because this login feature will now ask the user this password Farhan1 whenever the user enters into your networking device through this console connection. So this is now good to go. I have authenticated the console line using password feature only. There are multiple ways to configure your console line, let's say with the help of AAA server, but that we will be doing in some other lab, in which I will be telling you how to configure your routers, telnet interfaces, and SSH interfaces using the AAA service. At present, we have configured our console line terminal using the simple password only. So exiting from here, and same will be done for the line, sorry, auxiliary 0. Line aux 0, this is same command like line console 0 was done over here, and similarly the line auxiliary 0. And after press line auxiliary 0, the password is given to you. Let's say the password is Farhan2. Enter. And similarly the login feature will be done, and exiting. Now talking about the VTY connections, the after writing the word line, you can use the help feature. So you can see that we are working on the auxiliary line, auxiliary connection, the console connection, and the VTY connection. So now line VTY, and after VTY 0 till 15, there can be 16 telnet connections at the same time, 0 till 15. So 0 without any gap, you have to write 15. And now we are in the telnet line sub interface mode. So another password is given Farhan2. Sorry, not Farhan2, Farhan3. Password Farhan3. Another login command to enable the VTY connection, to ask user about the password. This login command enables the password asking feature. So this is exiting from the telnet interface. So basically we have now configured our console line, the auxiliary line, as well as our VTY line. Time for writing another write, that is very important, you shouldn't forget it. And now the eighth goal is also achieved. If now I move out from my Farhan router CLI, then one thing I want to show here, I am now out of the CLI of my Farhan router, and I am now pressing enter. And you can see that it is asking me the console line password, as I have entered my router through the console line. So here I am writing Farhan1. The password characters will not be shown to you. The asterisk will not be shown to you. Simply I am now in the Farhan router user mode. So now moving to our next goal, and the next goal is to set up the MOTD. MOTD basically stands for message of the day banner, and the login banners are to be configured. So this is my Farhan router. Moving to my global configuration mode, and here the banner will be set. You can use the help feature, and here you can see that the third command is the banner command. So what does the banner command do? I will be demonstrating you. First I configure my banner. After banner, I use the help feature, and there are the login and the MOTD banner. As I've already told you that in real routers you will get a large list of the commands, but here for our CCNA perspective, these two are completely okay. So banner login, after banner login, you have to place a delimiting character or use the help feature. Basically the delimiting character is C. and let's say I am writing this is Maxima Education Router, and this C is the delimiting character. After writing this sentence or writing your banner, simply you have to terminate this banner with a C, but that I will not do. I will press an enter, and then it is prompting me to write a C, and then I am writing a C, and then again pressing enter. Now you will be asking why I have done this thing. Why didn't I just simply place a banner login, this is Maxima router, and terminated with a C. C is the delimiting character, just like inverted commas for a sentence. So the reason behind pressing enter and then pressing C is to change the line. When I will configure my MOTD banner, and if I hadn't performed this enter feature and then pressing the C button, then I will be having both the banners MOTD as well as login in the same line. So that will be not appearing properly. So this is the way to have it, is just like a backslash n in case of C or C++. So I just wanted to change my line before configuring another banner. If you have to configure a single banner, then you can simply terminate it with a C. Now moving to my login banner. Sorry, the previous was the login banner. This is now MOTD banner. So MOTD banner is like unauthorized users are not allowed, and then pressing enter and then pressing another C. So now exiting from here and exiting from my router and then entering my router through the console connection, and there you go. You have both the banners placed before entering into the router. Unauthorized users are not allowed. This is Maxima Education Router. Basically now here the console line password is to be given Farhan1, and now I am again in my user mode, pressing the enable button, enable command, and I am in the enable mode. So this feature should also be clear to you, how to set the MOTD banner and the login banner. And finally I will be moving to my 10th task of today's lab, that is setting up the enable password. Basically you have seen that the enable mode is a very powerful mode, and before this mode there was the user mode that is used for simply the monitoring commands, but the enable mode is a very powerful mode, and therefore we want to place passwords on our router for anyone entering into my enable mode using the enable command. So these enable mode passwords are of two types, and basically these two passwords can be set at the global configuration mode. And you can see now enable was the command, and after enable there are two different words, that is the password and the secret. Basically enable password can be configured as plain text, and enable password can be configured as encrypted text. So if you want to have a powerful feature for your router, then you should use the secret enable password, and if you want it in the plain text manner, then you can use the password. So I am setting both the password. Enable password, let's say my password is Maxima1, and then enable secret password, and that password is Maxima2. Now one thing should be clear to you: if you set both the passwords, that is the unencrypted password Maxima 1 and the encrypted password Maxima 2, and you want to enter your router's enable mode, then the more powerful password, that is the secret password, will be asked by the router, and this password will be ignored. But if you cancel out this password Maxima 2, then you will be entering with this password Maxima 1. So secret password or the encrypted password is given more preference as compared to the plain text password Maxima 1. So now exiting from here and exiting, this is something that I should be avoiding. Writing a bad command, instead of exit I wrote EXOT. So this is now connecting to some domain server for the DNS translation. It will waste our time. There is a command no IP domain lookup to avoid this mistyped command translation, DNS translation. So no IP domain lookup can be typed at your router to avoid this nuisance. But after some time it will be normalized. Uh, So I am now moving to my Abdullah router because I haven't done anything over here. And this is the enable mode. This is the global configuration mode, configuring the host name. Host name is Abdullah underscore RTR. Then I have to perform configuration on my serial interface connected to Farhan router, serial interface 0/0/0 with the IP address was I think 10.1.1.1 or 11. I'm not sure, so I will be cross checking it. The password at the Farhan router is at the serial interface, we have the 11 network, 11.1.1.1. So at the Abdullah router, I will be using 11.1.1.2. So IP address 11.1.1.2 with the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. This is no shutdown. Since it is the DTE terminal, so no need to write the clock rate. And now our interface is up, and that can be cross verified by the basic uh, uh, GUI main network area of your packet tracer. So now you can ping these two routers and you can be sure that this network is properly working. So from Abdullah router, I am pinging Farhan router, and I will be having all our ping 11.1.1.1. So the ping is proper, and from Farhan router we can ping the Abdullah router, and we have this ping command. Ping 11.1.1.2 was the IP of Abdullah router, and you can see that 5 ICMP echo request packets were sent and 5 are properly received by us. So this network is properly working. Now I will be moving to the fast Ethernet 0/0 that is connected to the Faria PC, and here I will be using 12 network, 12.0.0 network. So this is our Abdullah router. Moving to the global configuration mode and then entering into the interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Tab feature should be used by you. That will make your life easy and completing your command in the proper manner. 12.1.1.1. This is the subnet mask 255.255.255.0 and the no shutdown command, and description can also be added at the fast Ethernet interface also. That is up to you totally. Exiting from here, exiting again, and simply writing the right command to save our configuration. So now this is our connection to the Faria PC, and from Abdullah router, and at Faria PC we have to give IP also. Static IP 12.1.1.2 and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. No need to have the default gateway, but if you want, because at present we are not doing any routing sort of thing, 12.1.1.1, this could be avoided, but there isn't any big issue in this. And we have to cross verify the ping if it is successful from the PC 12.1.1.1. The ping is successful, and similarly can be repeated from Abdullah to the Faria router. Oh, okay, yes. And ping Faria PC was at 12.1.1.2 and the ping is also successful. So pinging is completely successful, but one thing you should be bearing in your mind that we cannot at present ping Faria till Ibrahim because these are on different networks. Faria is at 12.1.1.0 network and Ibrahim is at 10.1.1.0 network. So you cannot ping unless you have incorporated routing between these networking devices. So if I ping Ibrahim was at 10.1.1.2. So the ping should not be successful, and you can see that the message is given to you that the destination host is unreachable. So request is timing out, and you are unable to go to there unless the ping is unless you have performed the routing. So writing here and using the writing command here also, so that we should be saving our configuration for the future purpose. And this is now complete configuration for the basic CLI features. And one last thing that I want to show to you is the running and the startup configurations. So as you have seen that I have always written a write command so that my configurations get saved, and that is basically saving on the startup configuration. In router you have two different types of configurations. One is the startup configuration, another is the running configuration. So whatever you are doing on your router is basically getting saved in the running configuration in the dynamic RAM DRAM. And unless you type the command right, your data will be lost if the power is turned off. If you write the write command, then your data will be moving from the running configuration to the startup configuration, or you can say that the data will be copied from the dynamic RAM DRAM to the NVRAM, that is the non-volatile RAM. That is, your data will be completely saved. You can check both the configuration. Show startup dash config is basically the startup configuration, and since I have written the write command, therefore you can see that the startup configuration is present here. This is was the host name set, and here this is the very important feature. This was your enable password maxima, and this is your maxima 2. So you should be now clear that this secret password or the encrypted password is very powerful, because it is not clearly visible to you. And similarly, these were the configuration that you performed or your fast ethernet and the serial interfaces. These connections are present there, and these were your banners that you place, and these were your line console auxiliary and the line VTY configurations. And by using the command show running dash config, the same will be shown to you, because both the startup and running configuration are same as you have used the write command. So this was the configuration in your saved in your router. So if the power is now turned off and on again, then all these configurations will be saved. So at last, I am just again entering into my uh, Farhan router, and here I want to show this thing to you, that I have now typed en basically means enable. I want to enter into the enable mode, and there it is asking me the password. So I am first writing maxima 1, and because maxima 1 was uh, enable password but unencrypted, so it didn't allow me to enter. Now I wrote maxima 2, that is the enable secret password. So I told you that the more powerful password will be used by the router to let you enter into its enable mode. So I hope that this basic CLI configuration lab is now clear to you. Many more things are going to be coming in your way in our course, inshallah. So in the next lab we will be dealing with the telnet and the SSH configuration along with the AAA authentication. So kindly like and subscribe this video and share it among your friends. Till then, it is time to say goodbye. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.